Now, your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Oh, what another beautiful sunset tonight. Take a look on our Roofing Dog iNet Bratcher weather camera. The blue color changing to the yellows and the oranges right on that flat horizon across parts of Champaign County. Clear skies all across the board here tonight and looking good once again. We had temperatures that headed well into the 50s earlier today. Now down to 44 in Champaign, still holding on to the 50 in Springfield. Through this evening, no major weather issues, staying quiet. Winds calming down briefly, but they're going to return tomorrow. We'll talk about that. Let you know the next rain chances coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
I heard a big crackle. I looked outside and I seen black smoke just rolling.
A plane crashed on the interstate in central Illinois. What federal investigators are saying about the people on board.
Plus, Illinois is the first in the country to perform in-state testing for the coronavirus. What this means for you and me.
We got to stop looking at it through the lens of tradition.
And over 50 schools in Illinois have Native American nicknames or mascots. By that may come to an end.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
3 people are dead after a plane crashed in central Illinois. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. It happened just before 9 a.m. on I-55 near Lincoln. State police say it went down in the middle of the interstate. Here's a picture from the scene. The plane was covered in flames. The FAA is responding to this and investigating. The southbound lanes of I-55 are now open. They reopened about 2:30 this afternoon. The coroner isn't identifying the crash victims until their families have been notified. Stay with us in a few minutes. We will have a live report from the crash site. Following up now on the coronavirus, public health leaders in Illinois are getting ready to make their way to Washington, D.C.
That's right. They'll update Congress about the state of coronavirus in Illinois. But before leaving, they stopped at the state capitol to update lawmakers there on the latest. WCIA 3's Gabrielle Franklin joins us live from our Capitol newsroom tonight. So, Gabrielle, what does the state say it needs from Washington?
Well, Paul, Public Health Director says that the agency wants to continue to be proactive when handling the virus, but they say in order for Illinois to continue to do that, they will need more resources from the federal government.
The risk to the Illinois public still remains low, but we still want people to pay attention to what's going on around the world and so prepare.
Health Director Ngaze Zike says the state will need more supplies to combat the novel coronavirus.
Of course, we're using them daily, so I know the last count was about 2,200, and so we're requesting for the CDC to send additional reagents so that when this runs out, there won't be any pause and we'll continue to test.
Lawmakers say they are pleased with Public Health's aggressive approach so far, but wanted to know more about the state's protocol for testing possible patients.
Public Health does not do direct testing for the public. We get the samples after their clinician has done their evaluation and has done their assessment. And so we would tell them about that process and let them go through those channels.
After doctors and hospitals around the state diagnose patients with possible symptoms of the virus, test samples are sent to Public Health's testing labs. A process lawmakers worry won't work if the virus becomes an epidemic.
I mean, if we see that this is spreading, we probably would need to have some place people can just go, because a lot of people can't even go to the doctor. They don't have the money, they're just not connected. So what do we do about that? That's something that we really need to consider, and not just wait until we see a bigger outbreak, but to be prepared for that.
Public Health says they are considering a drive-through style testing so that people won't have to get out of their cars and risk the possibility of contaminating others. But for now, their latest labs in Springfield and Carbondale are open for testing, as well as the original lab in Chicago. Paul and Jennifer.
Sounds like a novel idea. Gabrielle, thanks. In other news, it was a devastating night in Tennessee. At least 25 people were killed when tornadoes hit the central part of that state.
Others are still missing. Thousands are without power, and more than 100 buildings were destroyed. Now people from central Illinois are doing their part to help those impacted. WCIA 3's Jamie Mays is live in our newsroom. Jamie, so what are they doing?
There are volunteers who plan to be there this week, and families who have loved ones there say they're doing their part to make sure people impacted by these tornadoes are okay. City streets are almost unrecognizable after tornadoes hit Tennessee.
It's a little scary.
Kathy Rhodes' daughter, Jamie Cathcart, is from Champaign and now lives in Nashville. After the twister hit, Rhodes had a lot of questions running through her mind.
I also have a 3.5-year-old grandson, so is everybody okay? So it's very frightening not knowing, if someone's injured, are they okay?
While her family is fine, many others weren't able to get to safety. At least 25 people have been reported dead. More are still missing. Tennessee's governor says the number of people killed will likely go up.
I think we just need to reach out to those families and make sure that they're getting their needs met as well, because they've lost people, they might have lost homes.
The Central Illinois Lutheran Disaster Response Team says it has at least 30 volunteers preparing to help with recovery.
The comfort dogs will go to the nursing homes, they'll go to the hospitals to help families that have been stricken with injury and grief and death. We're going to have our chainsaw crews there. They're going to remove all the large debris.
Then they will have a team do debris cleanup.
It's a beautiful town, and I feel badly that it's, they're going to have some growth to get things back.
State officials would not give a total for the number of people still missing. Search and rescue teams are still on the ground working. Live in the newsroom, Jamie Mays, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Yeah, just devastation there in Tennessee. All right, Jamie, thank you so much. Now, one tornado caused damage across a 10-mile stretch of Nashville and parts of downtown. Another one ripped through about 2 miles of Putnam County. Now, the Champaign County Emergency Management Agency is trying to make sure you are prepared for severe weather. This morning, Champaign EMA did their monthly siren test. They are all working, but there have been issues with the weather radio transmitter that serves Champaign County. It's down now, so you won't get warnings on your weather alert radios. But we have you covered. Be sure to download the WCIA 3 weather app for any updates on severe weather. Now back to our lead stories. We told you off the top, 3 people are dead after a plane crash near Lincoln.
Yeah, it happened this morning on I-55. Police say there was very little they could do after the plane went down. So joining us live now from Lincoln is Matt Sheehan. Matt, you spoke to the FAA. What are they saying tonight?
Paul, the Federal Aviation Administration tells me that a Cessna 172 plane crashed in the middle of Interstate 55 southbound near the Mason City and Lincoln exit. Now, the Logan County coroner says 3 people did die in that crash. I spoke with witnesses nearby who heard the crash and saw the flames. They say that what they saw is really hard to process.
I heard a big crackle. I looked outside and I seen black smoke just rolling.
A loud boom followed by billowing smoke, causing traffic to shut down on Interstate 55 southbound for nearly 5 hours. Dorothy Hupp works at the Beck's gas station right next to the crash scene. She called 911 when she first heard about it.
There was a gentleman and he had on a hazard vest, came running in, yelling to call 911. He said there was a plane crash by exit 126, extreme flames. And I looked for the phone, found the phone, called 911. Sarah Shelby works right across the street. She tells me she couldn't believe what happened.
I thought it was a car crash at first, and I was hoping that everybody got out safe and just praying.
No IDs have been released as of this point. An investigator from the National Transportation Safety Board is investigating the scene Tuesday night to determine the cause, where the plane was coming from, and where it was heading. Terry Williams of the National Transportation Safety Board tells me that investigators should be on scene tonight about 6 or 7 o'clock here just in a couple of minutes. As well, he also tells me that identifications of the 3 people that died in that crash should be released tomorrow. Live in Lincoln, Matt Sheehan, back to you.
All right, Matt, thanks. Now, this is not the first time a plane has landed in that area of I-55. In July 2018, a plane made an emergency landing just a few miles away. Police say the pilot of that Cessna single-engine plane was attempting to land at the Logan County Airport when the plane lost power. Now, during that landing, the plane did hit a car. The plane had minor damage, but nobody was hurt.
The chief no longer dances at U of I events. Could Illinois high schools be next to drop Native American imagery? Also tonight. It's Bark at the Park today, why Illinois Field has gone to the dogs.
Our weather definitely has not done that. It has been just beautiful out there. Just another shot from our roofing dog Annette Bratcher weather camera as the sun sets. 54, 10 degrees above average today, and more of that to come. We do have to talk about those strong winds that return again tomorrow, and we'll show you when the next chance of some rain is in the forecast coming up.